As Vice President of Market Development for the IBM Corporation, I'm responsible for developing the strategy and executing our marketing plans to market to businesses owned, led, and influenced by women, both in the U.S., where we started in 1994, as well as in 2004, we extended that footprint globally to 23 countries in the last 8 years.
As the CFO of IBM Malaysia, I'm responsible to make sure that at the end, bottom line is we are a profitable organization, looking after the expense, making sure that we are well within the expense budget with all the controls and compliance that we have to adhere to. At the same time, also working with the line management to ensure, we bring in the business that we should be bringing in.
What brings us to Malaysia is our participation in the Global Summit of Women. IBM has been a proud sponsor of the Global Summit of Women for, I think, since 2004, and it's held in a different country every year. This year we have a delegation of 22 IBM female executives, high potential, and guests who will be attending with us. And in addition, we have 5 executive speakers who will participate, including the Managing Director of IBM Malaysia, who will be speaking on a men-only panel on Saturday, as well as the Managing Director of IBM Thailand, who will be speaking on the CEO panel on Thursday. There's a focus on women in the marketplace for 2 reasons. One is in 1995, I believe, IBM CEO had a task force, diversity task force. One of them was for women. And one of the recommendations that came from the women task force within IBM was to focus on the marketplace. People acknowledged that women business owners were growing the fastest in the country, this is in the U.S., as well as were more than 50% of the small businesses in the United States. And so out of that came the recommendation for us to focus on this marketplace, to customize our offering solutions and complementary programs, to look at sourcing suppliers from women business owners, as well as encouraging women business owners to become partners.
Well, the market right now is vast, and a lot of women right now in Malaysia especially are more vocal. They voice their opinion, and the best part is I think they are being heard. And also some of the characters or some of the values that the women has, I think are being very much valued, especially in the workforce. And I give you an example of women that can multitask, which means we can do more work at the same time, at the same level of time that's given. Women are more caring. And I think a lot of organizations now are looking at this as a valued characteristic, because we need to really take care of our employees. Okay, I think IBM has already done a lot, not just for the women, like I mentioned, all the programs that we have within IBM, and women are taking a lot of advantage in that, working from home, flexi hours, leave of absence. Those are all the programs that I think it's very valued and taken very valuable from a women perspective. And personally, from me, I support those initiatives. I encourage them, in fact, and I try not to make them worry too much. And when they come to me with the problems that they have in the home front, I will tell them that there are a lot of initiatives that IBM has, and they do not have to worry about it. They can still succeed in their career, even though they have a family to raise. Denise, would you like to say something about it?
Absolutely. In addition to what you talked about, all the flexibility that women have with the work-life programs, IBM is also very focused on encouraging young girls in middle school, as early as middle school, to focus on careers in STEM. We know demographically around the world that we need more women and ethnic minorities involved in science, technology, engineering, and math. And so IBM has a vast on-demand community that volunteers. We do things like Excite camps, which get middle school girls very excited about careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. Um, Also, IBM supports women through our diversity groups. We have women in technology diversity groups. We have a group that's comprised of women engineers. We have another group that's comprised of women innovators, so that women throughout the world within IBM can collectively get together, talk about their concerns, get those concerns addressed, and support one another in skill building. So there are a lot of things that are going on in IBM, including the work-life program. Personally, I am, and I'd like to say that of the 200 and some diversity network groups worldwide, I think about 30 of them are women. So we have really got a foothold on the diversity network groups and supporting one another. Personally, I mentor more than, my last count was more than 20. I have more than 20 mentees. That includes mostly females, but a few males, as well as those that are external to IBM in careers, that want careers in marketing, a couple of young people who are in school and in college, and I spend lots of times mentoring, and because really we've all been there and we've all had these challenges, and it's so important for women to share and to know that we all have these issues, we all have these concerns, and we all have different ways of approaching problems, but maybe by sharing, you know, I might find a new idea that I hadn't thought of before. So mentoring is very, very important. And IBM also has formal mentoring programs. I would also say that I started in sales with IBM, and the saying goes, what doesn't get measured doesn't get done. IBM actually keeps statistics on women with IBM, and that's very important because we can't get to where we'd like to go in this journey if we don't know where we are now. So IBM is very, very supportive of women in their careers. So my tip would be to actually do the work. You have to work hard. You have to excel at what you do. You have to be the best. Focus on your personal business commitments. Know what it is that you need to drive in terms of business to the corporation. And utilize the 40 hours that our CEO gave us earlier this year to identify the skills that you may want to buff up and make sure that your education plans are helping you to develop not only your skills but also your leadership skills. And then I would also say join the network, women's network groups, and volunteer, because none of us is as strong as all of us, and we need all of us in the boat together so that we can become stronger together. Lisa?
My advice to all the women out there is I want them to take the challenge. Take the challenge. Get out of your comfort zone. Do not limit yourself just because you're a woman. So go for it, and sky is the limit, really.